the Lord, dear Good Shepherd Evangelical Church congregation. Firstly, I would like to extend my warmest greetings to each and every one of you as we embarked into our prospective new year ahead. So as I was contemplating about this particular vlog series or a video format of sharing this verse of the day, which I used to post through audio file until recently, so God has been really kind to me to start off this video series. So for the past couple of years, I've written many write-ups of my own, which I would like to go through in these videos almost every day. So I wish every one of you to please pray for me and also the church congregation. So to start off with, for today's verse of the day, we need to refer the reference from the Bible, Isaiah 40:29 through 31. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. So the fascinating thing which we can derive from this particular verse is, you see, when your agony is at its peak and when you almost wither, just means you abandon God. So the solution for that, remember, your strength is renewed by mighty God alone. Well, it's always a curious question and contemplation amongst many that what are the repercussions of not being imbibed in spirituality? See, that statement itself sends chills to my spine, because I personally never think of life without God and His grace. Well, how about the people who are void of God or spirituality? What is your course of life all about? To start off with, today's theme itself is a riotous kind of topic. So the basic core idea of the theme is, when we abandon God, we just invoke evil and suffering. See, we start to have unbridled pleasures, jeopardize ours and others' life. Moral references led by illogical folly, so on and so forth. That's what transpired throughout the history of mankind ever since the modern civilization. See, the likes of Stalin, who persecuted 15 million of his own countrymen, is just spine-chilling to know. See, Friedrich Nietzsche, the great atheistic philosopher, termed the line, "God is dead." He said people who believe in God to be insane. But irony is, during the last 2 decades of his life, he spent a life of utter insanity, madness, and hollowness. So the humankind loses all of its amoral fences when it abandons God. Man starts to move towards self-referencing, moral reasoning, which becomes absurd eventually. And if you see, as Richard Rorty says, if moral imperatives are not commanded by God's will, and if not ought in some sense absolute, then what ought to be is a matter simply of what any of us besides should be, no other source of judgment. Well, that's a fascinating line to dwell into. At times we come across people justifying the naturalistic phenomena of the worldview by saying we must espouse evolutionary ethics, which by every means is truly illogical. See, the fact of the matter is, evolutionary ethics is ultimately reductionistic. The man who proposed theory of evolution, Charles Darwin himself, said, if the philosophical extensions are made from the naturalistic assumption, the possibility of the future is nothing short of unbridled violence. And remember, men claim to be knowledgeable, which in turn makes them feel superior in the nature. Yet here is a caution. Knowledge is a deadly friend when no one sets the rules. The fate of all mankind I see in the hands of fools. Fool's confusion will be our epitaph as we crawl and crack into a broken path If we make it, we can all sit back and laugh. But I'm afraid future is jeopardized and miserable. See, suffering, evil, angst, dissatisfaction, envy, loss, hopelessness, discomforting, misery, disappointments, so on and so forth will be our recurs. So dear friends, that's an excruciating list of unwanted rights which we all would hate to be imbibed with. God casts that light upon the values and issues that are absolutely vacuous, if not totally irrational, outside of a transcendent point of meaning. That's what makes God inescapable in every generation. See, it's each and everyone's own appanage to espouse the very existence of God and His Spirit on us eternally, which results in annulment of all those unwanted rights. See, we must be nimble in every aspect pertaining to our faith, belief, and exhibiting our spirituality. As in the verse, we are very much assured of faith great promises such as giving strength when we are weary, when we are incapable. He gives us power. Those who wait upon Him would be given new strength, and which can never be exhausted. See, when we submit to Him, He's the one who can deliver us from all kinds of negative aspects of nature which haunt us and eventually lead us to do things which are of good pleasure in the sight of mighty God. See, when your impetus is about following and believing in God, I'm pretty sure we ain't getting withered away in these physical lives. Amen. So I hope that this message will really regenerate your spirits. This is Hans, Good Shepherd, Evangelical Church. Thank you. Have a good day.